Hello, my name is Rob Ribby and I'm director here at Honey Rock, and I'm excited to talk to you about Advanced Camp. Advanced Camp is one of the most unique and powerful programs at Honey Rock, and it is at a critical time for young people between junior high and high school, and helping to equip and prepare them to manage that significant transition. It's a 3-week program that has a wilderness trip, some significant in-camp experiences around our activity areas and Bible studies, and then thirdly has a significant service component. The whole goal of the program is to prepare them and help them understand who they are and how they can stand for Christ and live in healthy and whole ways as they enter the significant years of high school. I think it is one of the best investments you can make at this important time in their lives. We hope to see you next summer. God bless.
Good evening and welcome inside King Arena alongside Tex Ritter. I'm Rusty Lindsay. Thanks for joining us here tonight. We've got a CCIW women's basketball matchup coming your way between the CCIW leading Thunder of Wheaton, who come in 5-0 already in the CCIW and 11-3 overall, and Millikin University Big Blue, 5-9 overall and 1-4 in the CCIW. Millikin coming off a tough loss at Carthage on Saturday, a 5-point loss that they were in it till the end. Wheaton, meanwhile, coming off a gritty and gutty win over Carroll in a game that they would all tell you was not their best effort. So we'll start, Tex, with Millikin, as obviously this is a little bit different look from the Big Blue. They undergo the change as Lori Cairns, their legendary head coach, retires, and they hand the reins over to Olivia Lett, who's a real up-and-comer in the coaching ranks. And this is a team that matches her identity as a player. For those of you who don't remember, she was a 2012 National Player of the Year by D3Hoops.com, led Illinois Wesleyan to the Final Four, and a loss in the national semifinals to eventual national champion Amherst in that Final Four. This is a team that's taken on her identity. They're tough. They play you the length of the floor all 40 minutes of the game, so we're going to have to be ready for another gutsy effort similar to what they saw from Carroll.
Absolutely, yeah. No, we're looking at a team that has 5 girls on there that can shoot really, really well. I mean, we're looking at averages in the double digits all across the board. Where they may lack in size, they definitely make up for it in a lot of speed, which I think, as we saw in the previous game, that Wheaton really actually does struggle with when they have girls that may be outsized, but if they get in their face, the Thunder really struggle, especially the big 3 in Devin Kyler, Hannah Frazier especially, and we even saw a little bit with Jen Berg. So it'll be really important for the Thunder to build on that and keep playing their game.
Wheaton has been building, like you mentioned, peaking there with that win at Illinois Wesleyan last Wednesday, but this is a Thunder team that comes in having won 6 in a row, and now they make their debut in the top 25 for this year, sliding in at number 24 in this week's D3Hoops.com top 25. So this is a team that is really starting to put together their best basketball of the year, and they're doing so without Jill Berg. And with that, we'll actually send things across to Florida tonight's PA announcer, Mr. Dave Pugsley.
For tonight's CCIW contest between the Millikin University Big Blue and your Wheaton College Thunder. At this time, we'd ask everyone to please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the Big Blue of Millikin University. Number 3, a 5'5" senior from Peoria Heights, Illinois, Yanni Sadler. Number 10, a 5'6" sophomore from Rochester, Illinois, Aubrey Magro. A 5'4" junior from Harvey, Illinois, number 11, Brianna Anthony. A 6' sophomore from Mendon, Illinois, number 23, Jordan Hildebrand. And number 32, a 5'10" freshman from El Paso, Illinois, Aubrey Staton. Millikin is coached by Olivia Lett. Here are the starters for your Wheaton College Thunder. Number 12, a 5'10" sophomore from Fishers, Indiana, Hannah Williams. A 6'2" senior from Champaign, Illinois, number 14, Devin Kyler. Number 15, a 5'11" junior from East Peoria, Illinois, Jordan Myroth. A 5'10" senior from Manito, Illinois, number 33, Jennifer Berg. And number 34, a 6'2" junior from Batavia, Illinois, Hannah Frazier. Wheaton is coached by Kent Madsen, assisted by Katie Cuthbert, Ali Paluchniak, and Annie Ginsler. The officials for tonight's game, Greg Gunhus, Ron Quirk, and Jaquetta Wesley.
So there's your starting lineups. We'll recap them for you. For Millikin, their leading scorer is Yanni Sadler, a senior guard out of Peoria Heights, Illinois. And then maybe the opposite in the future for Millikin, their second leading scorer is a 5'10" freshman out of El Paso, Illinois, Aubrey Staton, averaging 16 points a game, 19 points a game in CCIW play. Rounding out their starting five is a 5'6" guard, averaging 7 points a game, Aubrey Magro. Number 11, Brianna Anthony, a 5'4" junior guard, and Jordan Hildebrand, their leading rebounder at 7.1 per game and 12.2 points a game in the middle. She will jump opposite Devin Kyler, who starts with Hannah Williams, Jordan Myroth, Jennifer Berg, and Hannah Frazier, as Wheaton will win the tip, moving left to right here, putting a 6-game win streak on the line against the Big Blue of Millikin University. Myroth will hand to Kyler on the right wing, and just like we talked about, this is a Millikin team that can test. They guard you all the way out. They take away passing lanes, try to get you out of your offense, and unfortunately, Wheaton looks very similar to the way they did early against Carroll. Skip to the corner from Myroth, thrown low and over the head of Hannah Frazier.
Yeah, that's exactly what you got to do with this Thunder team. You got to play gutty defense, get right up in their face.
Very similar to what we saw from Carroll last Saturday. This is Sadler, averaging 17 points a game. The senior, big uptick in scoring, only 11 points a game last year, so 6 points a game improvement. Driving is Hildebrand up in the lane. Excuse me, that is Staton. And Staton gets it to go, and Millikin takes the first lead. Hannah Williams thought about the baseline drive, left open for three, and she buries it. Williams struggled on Saturday. Good to see her see one go through early. 1 point lead here for the Thunder as Millikin comes back the other way, right to left. The road blues, white numbers trimmed in black. Coming off a 5-point loss at Carthage on Saturday night. Down low for Staton, and she throws it away. Hannah Williams off the deflection will bring it up for the Thunder, leading by 1. Picks up her dribble, finds Frazier on the right wing. Frazier will drive and travel. Hildebrand was beat. Frazier picked up the dribble and gives away a turnover.
This game is starting really, really similar to the previous game on Saturday versus Carroll, and it's going to be really important as we talked about rankings for the Thunder to continue to start building consistency early game. When you play against a team that's really, really good, a high-ranked team, you cannot afford to have a slow start in a game.
Sadler looking for room, can't find it against Myroth. Shot clock's at 14 as Anthony dribbles it to the right wing, looking into the middle, nothing there. They go out between the circles, left wing, and a travel called by Aubrey Staton, who after watching for 2 minutes, you can see a very similar game to her head coach. Built much the same way, has that full-length game. That's got to make a very easy transition for Olivia Lett into the head coaching ranks, getting coach a player who it looks like she has a game pretty similar. Frazier with the left-handed dribble. Back cut for Kyler. Right-handed layup is good off a nice feed from Jennifer Berg.
It's usually the move we see that goes to Frazier, so it's good to see Devin start rotating into the offense on the under the post.
And that was maybe one of our concerns for Saturday was Kyler spent a little too much time on the perimeter with a big size advantage. So Wheaton 5-2. 7.5 left first quarter. Anthony the baseline drive. Cut off. Swings to Sadler. Now up top to Magro. Bounced low. Looking for room is Hildebrand. First shot won't go. Gets her own rebound. Tries it again. And Berg is there for the rebound. Myroth around the screen all the way to the basket. Layup is good. A high screen from Hannah Frazier and 7 straight here from the Thunder. As Millikin pushes into the front court. With Anthony, Brianna Anthony, not under control. Right hand won't go, and Wheaton has played well the last 2.5 minutes, trying to add to a 7-0 run. Back cut Berg, one on the floor. A handoff to Myroth, out to Williams. Already hit a 3 from the right wing and has this one knocked away, and she will inbound with 13 on the shot clock. Pair of subs for Millikin. In for the first time tonight, number 5, Jasmine Brown. And also number 34, Faith Smith. As Hildebrand and Magro will check out. Kyler thought about the 3. Kicks it to Frazier, wing right. Smith all the way out, and that'll draw the cylinder foul there as Smith gets into the space. And you can see it. That's what Olivia Lett wants her team to do. Get you uncomfortable guarding the ball all the way out. Williams inbounds to Myroth. Swung all the way to the left side. Nobody's picked up Kyler. Kyler misses the baseline jumper. Hannah Williams the rebound. Put back way over the basket. And the rebound to Staton. Millikin has not scored since their first possession. They go right wing for the freshman Aubrey Staton. Back through Jasmine Brown. And to the top for Sadler. Swung left side, looking into Smith. Denied by Frazier. Now Staton guarded by Kyler. 10 on the shot clock. Staton drives, bounces to the block. Kick out. Jasmine Brown shot fake the 8-footer in the lane. Won't go. Kyler can't grab it. Brown gets her own rebound. Kick out 3 for Staton is good. Aubrey Staton shooting 44% from 3. Their leading shooter in that category, both in percentage and made shots. Now Frazier trying to answer on the other side. Can't get it to go. Williams gets her the rebound. Lob into Frazier on the block, and Frazier keeps the ball high and lays it up and in. 9-5 lead for the Thunder. 4.5 gone here from King Arena. Driving is Anthony, and Williams will get called for the foul. That will send Brianna Anthony to the line as we see it again here on the replay.
Something I think that it's worth noting here too is Coach Madsen, as he's yelling to his girls, you got to get the rebounds here. It's very fundamental, but you gotta have the rebounds against a team like this that are going to put up a lot of shots. And when you have such a height advantage on, that Wheaton does, you have to get those balls.
Dembski in for Hannah Williams for Wheaton. Staton checks out, replaced by Hildebrand. As Anthony will have the second of 2 coming, only a 42% free throw shooter this season. Millikin on a whole does not shoot the free throw very well, at just 68% as she misses the second. So a 9-6 lead for the Thunder. Pushing all the way to Dembski. Dembski lays it up, can't get it to go. Fighting for her own rebound, is knocked into the corner and grabbed by the Big Blue. Wheaton struggled at the rim on Saturday night as Brown off the dribble gets the jumper to go.
Thunder defense looked real confused there. She was wide open on that shot.
And Kent Madsen's going to use a timeout midway through the first quarter. Wheaton leading 9-8. But you see, like you talked about, Tex, when people see the number in front of the team name, like what Wheaton has now as they make their debut in the ranks, it's a little extra effort that comes.
Yeah, the Thunder are going to have to be prepared to take that shot from every opponent they play now. They have to be prepared to see that team's very best game every single day.
Check on things down in Decatur in the men's game. Similar start here. Millikin leading 8-5 in that one. A couple of big CCIW battles on the men's side, with Augustana heading to Elmhurst and North Central heading down to Illinois Wesleyan. We'll keep you updated on all 8 games going on in CCIW basketball ranks tonight. As Myroth brings things into the front court out of the timeout. One sub at the break was for Millikin, as we'll get you caught up on that here in a second. Kyler pulls the trigger on the 3 from the left wing, and the rebound comes to that sub, E.C. Thies, the sophomore out of Neoga, Illinois, and now Millikin can take the lead again with a bucket this time down. Back cut, trying to get Hildebrand open on the block, not there. Now Brown will drive off the dribble, kicked into the corner. Thies for 3, and that's good over Kyler. Instant impact from E.C. Thies.
This is a good shot.
Myroth dribbling all the way to the basket, lays it up and in. They spread the defense wide, and there was no help. And we're tied at 11 with 4:15 left in the first. Millikin's a team that likes to get up and down. They're averaging 75 points allowed per game, so there's points to be had, but they're going to want an up-tempo game. Meanwhile, Wheaton has thrived in the half court the last few games. Sadler showed the shot, pulls up from the free throw line, not there, down to the baseline. Faith Smith, the jumper is good.
It honestly looks like to me right now that the speed of Millikin is confusing the Thunder. It looks like, they are running themselves open on the offensive side of the ball.
Berg in the paint lays it up and in, but Wheaton really able to get they're really able to get the ball into every position they want on the floor right now.
Right.
It's a Wheaton team that showed some great adjustments in that game Saturday, as that shot is off by Jasmine Brown, rebound grabbed by Dembski. And that first time through the CCIW, there's a lot of learning what that team's strength is that year.
Right.
As Myroth kicks to the left wing, Jen Berg for 3, off the back iron, and Brown the rebound. Wheaton wisely retreating, sending only 1 to the offensive board, knowing that Millikin wants to get out and run. Sadler's looking for room, yet to attempt a shot tonight, as Brown squares up against Dembski, looking into Hildebrand. They get her on the block, kick to the far wing. Sadler will drive into the lane. Right-hand runner is good for Yanni Sadler, their leading scorer. Inside of 3 minutes left, and a very entertaining first quarter. Dembski the quick 3. That's long. Rebound to Jennifer Berg. Berg skips it. Frazier for 3. That won't go. Wheaton a little trigger happy after getting the ball to the block the last 3 times down, and Millikin's going to call timeout here with 2:28 left. A trio of subs at the bench for Olivia Lett, and they're going to take a 30-second timeout.
It's going to be interesting, as we were talking about earlier in this game, the first part of the first quarter here, the Thunder basically can put themselves, any type of pass they want. They can give any player the ball that they want. So it's actually interesting to see them a little bit trigger happy, like you said, to just pull off those shots instead of running the offense that they have, and get the ball into an excellent or high probability shot instead of having Hannah Frazier take the 3-point shot there.
Other action along the CCIW, Carthage out to a quick 13-6 lead over in Naperville against North Central. Illinois Wesleyan 8-4 lead at Foster and Kedzie against North Park. Carroll at home hosting Elmhurst tonight. We'll get you a score from that one when it becomes available. Pass into the block, and that is knocked out of bounds, thrown away by Brianna Anthony, who just checked back into the game for the Big Blue. Checking in also during that timeout, Hannah Swider for the Thunder. So it's Swider, Myroth, Dembski, Jen Berg, and Hannah Frazier. Jill Berg unavailable again tonight, dealing with that fresh fracture in the foot. Berg thought about the mid-range jumper and loses the ball. Myroth right into the post looking for Frazier, knocked away by Magro, pushing to Hildebrand. Hildebrand picks up her dribble on the baseline, had Stanton on a back cut out top. Thies for three over Swider. It's good, and 6 quick ones for EC Thies, who matches her season average already.
I mean, the simple fact of it is the Thunder are getting out-efforted on when they're playing defense. I mean, the Big Blue they are hustling to the ball, they're setting the screens, they're running their offense well, and they're going to take the open shot. I mean, there's nothing more you can do about that.
Dembski answers on the other end. Wheaton back to within 2. Into the corner for Stanton, guarded by Berg. Up top, ball lost, but picked up by Magro. 17 on the shot clock. Back into the corner. Stanton, shot fake, spinning to the left-hand layup. Blocked by Berg, grabbed by Frazier. Great positioning by Jen Berg, and Wheaton now down 2, back into the front court.
That's the experience of the senior, knowing where that ball's going to be.
Swider, step back out off the drive, lobbed in over the head of Jennifer Berg. Berg had the seal, and that's been Wheaton's effective entry pass, has been that lengthy pass wing to opposite side of the lane. Not there that time, and it's thrown away. Thies out along with Hildebrand. Smith back in, along with Sadler after a short hiatus. Millikin trying to close this strong first quarter well. They lead by 2, 40 seconds left. Sadler around the high screen from Smith. Stanton between the circles, left wing for Magro. Magro will pull the 3. Front iron off the shins of Frazier, who picks it up, and Wheaton will get the last shot. 1 second differential shot clock to game clock, but Myroth goes all the way to the bucket, can't get the layup to go. And now Millikin will get the last shot. Smith shows for the high screen. They go right wing to Sadler. Sadler will use the screen. 6 as Sadler takes the 3. Long rebound grabbed by Jennifer Berg. Berg outlets to Frazier. Frazier won't get it off in time. And Millikin will hold a 2-point lead after a very entertaining first 10 minutes.
Yeah, this game has some similarities to last Saturday night, where we have a very intense battle. I think maybe even one that the Thunder didn't look like they were expecting. You can see some of the frustration on the faces of the girls as they come back on the offensive side, or we get a turnover, things like that. But I think the other thing too that might play into the Thunder's favor, similar as it did when they played Carroll last Saturday, was in order to beat the Thunder team, you are going to have to play all 4 quarters. They are good enough, and there's enough discipline and age here with a lot of juniors and seniors who've played a lot of games on this Thunder team. If the Thunder are going to be beaten, you're going to have to beat them first quarter all the way through the fourth quarter.
The biggest thing for Wheaton was as that game rolled along and got into the second half, it was a game that lacked flow. This game has some flow.
That's true.
So this is a game that, especially if Millikin's going to hit shots, they can stay in it because they have that shooter's mentality that they're not going to stop shooting.
Right.
But I think it probably benefits Wheaton a little more that the game has some flow, because you're able to get confident touches, get out in transition, rebound and run, as opposed to that game Saturday that it just really bogged down with foul calls and half-court offense.
Absolutely.
Millikin shooting 46% there in the first half, 3 of 5 from 3. Wheaton 43% from the field, 2 of 7 from the three-point line. And the number of threes is going to be the thing to watch as we move forward. Wheaton a little too eager to take the first shot available. Baseline drive for Brianna Anthony, and she's going to draw the second foul against Hannah Williams exactly the way she drew the first.
Thunder foul on number 12, Hannah Williams, her second. Team foul for 1.
First team foul against the Thunder here in the second quarter. Only one foul in that first quarter, and it was against Williams. So she has both fouls in the game. Down into Hildebrandt. Works on Frazier, swatted away. Gets her own rebound again. Up top, Staton for three, straight away. No good, and the long rebound to Hildebrandt. Tries it again, swatted again. Third time up, and she'll get it to go over Hannah Frazier.
You got to get the rebounds. Blocks are nice, but you got to get the ball back.
Long shots lead the long rebounds, and now Millikin falls into a 2-3 zone, up 4. Skip to Dembski to the baseline for Frazier, quickly closed out on Magro. Magro now will take over. Myroth whipped into the block for Hannah Williams, taken away by Hildebrandt. And searching in transition is Magro, finds Anthony. Hildebrandt crossover into the lane. Hildebrandt spinning, blocked again by Frazier. And it's been all right hand for Hildebrandt, and it looks like that was a scouting report emphasis because Frazier's been blocking off the left side.
It's 2 possessions, 3 blocks for Frazier. That's incredible.
4 already tonight against Hildebrandt. And the inbound will be lobbed up top for Yanni Sadler. Early second quarter, 4-point lead for the Big Blue. Anthony into the paint, cut off on the drive, looking for help, and that'll be a 3-second violation. Hannah Swider back into the game. Hannah Williams out with her 2 fouls. So going to be important minutes from Swider here throughout the first half.
Yeah, this will be good competition, good speed. In the middle of the game, it's very important for some of these younger girls to get some time.
Looking for Myroth on the back block, tipped out of bounds. We'll likely see some important minutes from Jane Ortlip as well here during the first half. Lobbed into Devin Kyler, swung to Frazier, bounced into Swider, and Swider with an open layup, and she blew it. Rushed it as the defender had blown by her already. And like you talked about, speed of the game for a freshman, and a lot faster than it should be moving.
Right.
Staton for 3 as Kyler's slow to close out, and the long rebound is grabbed by Hannah Swider. And Swider will push things into the front court as Millikin falls into their zone. Left wing, Dembski, back up top, Swider. Finds Myroth in the middle. Down low to Frazier, an open left-handed layup.
There it is.
And that man-to-man aggression doesn't need to translate to the zone. Millikin's going to get themselves in trouble if they guard as far away from the basket in the zone as they do in the man. As Anthony drives on, Dembski left hand gets the roll, and Anthony has shown the ability with that quick drive step.
I think if we look at the flow of this game right now across the board, the Thunder are more experienced and are responding better to the zone, but we're looking at...
Swider misses the 3. Myroth, the offensive rebound, misses the putback. Kyler going to earn them a 3rd opportunity. And a bad pass from Dembski. Frazier was calling to swing the ball the other way, and Dembski tried to force it in. Sadler crossover drive, cut off initially by Frazier. Second chance goes.
Awesome move.
Great hesitation as the defense reset. And that's a game-high 6-point lead for the Big Blue. Myroth into the middle of the zone. Kick out. Swider passes on a 3. Skipped back into Myroth in the paint. Nice job by Jordan Myroth working into space.
Talking about Swider here, having 2 misses, it's going to be important for her to continue to keep her confidence up. If she has shots like that, if she has shots, she's got to take them. If she's got the opening, she got to take it.
And an offensive foul is called against the freshman Staton, trying to box out Devin Kyler. Swider out, Berg back in. 1 foul each here in the second quarter. Back into the man-to-man for the Big Blue. Jen Berg up top to Dembski. Kyler on the cut, finds Frazier on the baseline. 17-footer, back iron, no good, and Berg crashing for the rebound. Can't bring it in.
Too close there.
Kirsten Madsen into the game will replace Dembski with 6:26 left here in the first half. It's going to be a big opportunity, depending on the matchup. Jordan Myroth with Sadler guarding her has an opportunity to really go to work in the post.
Right. Yep. I think this is also a nod to the effort of Millikin right now and the speed at which they're playing. I think Coach Madsen's having to reach a lot deeper into his bench and find matchups to try and match this speed. They are maybe possibly the fastest team that Wheaton has played this year.
Probably with the exception of Thomas Moore.
Right.
High screen, Berg all the way to the basket with the right hand, too hard. And Millikin can add to a 6-point lead here inside of 6 minutes left in the half. Sadler driving, kicks to Brown on the baseline. Jumper won't go. Jen Berg the rebound. Staton narrowly avoided a second foul trying to knock that ball loose. As Myroth dribbles up into the right corner. Berg on the wing looking into Frazier. Good help from Brown to deny. Into the corner, Kyler will try the 3 ball. And missed everything. Running the floor, Staton. And Staton will miss the layup, and Berg will wrestle the rebound away from Jasmine Brown. Myroth swings it all the way to the left side for Madsen. Kyler guarded by Staton to the baseline, Frazier. Frazier with contact, and will go to the free throw line.
And at some point, you're going to have to start putting Frazier down low again. She's got to start getting her work done.
Well, this is the part of the game where this gets interesting because that initial burst has worn off now for Millikin.
Right.
Starting to see the hands go to the hips, the heavy breathing as this tempo gets pushed. And Olivia Lett wisely sends 3 subs. Wheaton will have 1 waiting for Frazier if she can make the second of 2. She does. And now we will see for the first time tonight Taylor Sanders. So Ken Madsen going deep into the bench here in the first half.
Right.
As he brings in the freshman forward from Tulsa. Trailing by 4. Frazier had Hildebrand's number as again the quick step there. Kick out to Brown. Swings it through as Wheaton recovers nicely. Great hedge from Sanders. And a 3-second violation against Hildebrand. The freshman passes her first test in the post there. But you can see Brianna Anthony, that first step really opens up the defense if Wheaton doesn't have its help in line. Meanwhile, Myroth shows her first step and misses the layup. Wheaton really struggled at the rim against Carroll. Missed 3 or 4 layups already tonight. Magro thought about the 3, passes it up, gets it to Anthony. Swung to Hildebrand and is quickly taken away from Devin Kyler.
It's a good steal.
Kyler with the quick hands leads Wheaton in steals. And now Myroth around the high screen. Lobs into Jennifer Berg. Great cut from Sanders, and it was tipped and goes off the knee of Sanders and out of bounds.
This will be another freshman that might actually have some problems with the speed of the game. I mean, she was there, and the pass was excellent. It was right in her hands, but I don't even think she was expecting to get the ball at all.
A late tip, though. Knocked that one away. Get you an update from Decatur here in a minute as Hildebrand drives on Sanders, misses the layup. Anthony out of nowhere, can't bring it in. Down in Decatur, Wheaton has jumped out to a 29-22 lead. Aston Francis with 19 points already in the first 13 minutes.
That's incredible.
He is doing the thing he does best. It's a 3-point barrage. As Madsen, trying to cut into a 4-point lead, loses the basketball in the lane. Inside of 4 minutes left here, first half. Magro gets it to Jasmine Brown on the right wing. An interesting matchup with Kyler guarding her, and we have a foul away from the basketball against Taylor Sanders.
A big props right now here to Millikin is that, they were a team maybe last year that you might have written off and said, yeah, we can play a lot of our freshmen in this game and still come out with a 10 to 15 point win. But the way that they are playing right now, the intensity, the coaching, they're running a good offense, they're playing strong defense. Hats off to the new coach at Millikin to put her girls in the best position possible to win this game.
Jump ball will go to the Thunder. Been stuck at 26-22 for a few minutes as Berg holds on the right wing. Up top, Taylor Sanders is going to pull Hildebrand away from the basket. Left wing, Myroth. Into Berg, over pursuit on the pass, and Berg is fouled as she makes the layup, so she'll go to the line for one more. But again, after Kyler got that initial inside touch, it's been a lot of perimeter work again.
Right.
As she has a matchup advantage with Faye Smith only at 5'8", guarding her.
Right, you would think that with the height advantage, like we've been talking about all night, that the Thunder would really want to push the post play, but they've been almost hesitant, like you said, to push down.
Anthony crosses over, gets all the way to the basket for a left-hand lay-in. And you can tell with Jill Berg unavailable, they've spread the defense out, and there's not that fear of the block that comes when you have number 32 in the middle there, as Sanders shot fake, drives all the way, and she will go to the free throw line, draws the foul at the rim. As a defender, a little slow to get up. That'll be Brianna Anthony. That's her second, team's fourth. And Taylor Sanders will go to the free throw line for just the third and fourth times this season.
That was a good drive by the freshman. Knowing what she needed to do, get it done under the basket.
Staten back into the game for Anthony. Frazier will wait to check in after this free throw. It is good. So Frazier replaces Sanders, and Wheaton back within 3, 28-25. Millikin has led for the entirety of the second quarter. Sadler through the left side. Now this is Staten against Kyler. Frazier stonewalling Hildebrand in the middle when they try to get that lob. Looking forward again, and Frazier right in position. Now they go as she backs her under the basket. Great job by Hildebrand, and a better entry pass from Faith Smith.
Two different times they looked to send that down into the post, and they was waved off, and then when they got the spot that they wanted, exactly position they wanted, they sent it in.
Madsen throws it away. Millikin will look to add to a 5-point lead. Sadler around to Berg for the layup. And before Wheaton can inbound, Olivia Lett's going to call a timeout. Smart timeout with 2 minutes left, as this was a team that the tempo has slowed a little bit lately, giving her team one last rest here to close this half strong, leading by 7.
It's an impressive showing by the Millikin Blue, Big Blue.
Millikin 1-4 in the CCIW. They've struggled away from home this year, as young teams will do. They're just 1-6. Their one road win coming at North Central by 4 in the conference opener, but they played Wash Utah, a 9-point loss in St. Louis. So this is a team that has played well at times. Now they've also been housed a couple times on the road, but that's life on the road as a young basketball team.
Right.
And now a lot of those were early in the year, so this is a team that's getting better as the season goes on, as you would expect. As Kyler takes this one all the way to the basket. Before the shot, she draws a foul. And that's the 5th of the quarter, so that will send that should put Wheaton in the bonus. Yeah, and there they finally find it. 5th foul, so Kyler goes to the line for 2. Wheaton shooting 74% from the line entering play tonight, as Kyler makes the first. Foul was against Smith. It's also her second, so 2 each on her and Brianna Anthony. Kyler misses the second, so the lead stays at 6. Sadler up top. Staten had the lob and throws it away as Dembski cuts into the passing lane. Christy Dembski all the way to the basket for the lay-in.
You need that. You need that right as you're going in. Cut into this lead as fast as possible.
Wheaton switches the screen. Sadler the long 2. Rebound by Berg, and fouled as Smith picks up her 3rd. And Wheaton will get 2 free throws as they walk the other way. So this is exactly what Olivia Lett wanted to avoid by calling that timeout.
Right.
As now out of the timeout, Wheaton with a steal and a layup, and now Berg to the free throw line as Smith picks up her 3rd foul. Berg makes the first. Anthony will come back in with 2 fouls to replace Faith Smith. Berg can't make the second.
going to be interesting to see if Millikin, coming out of half, can maintain this pace and this type of scoring. This is where, you know, the Thunder really make up some ground on some people, as they can maintain a really good pace and a really good scoring drive through the entire 4 quarters.
Bounced into Hildebrand, right back to Staten, over Frazier, can't get it to go. Tap out rebound leads to a 3-pointer for Magro, and it's good. A huge second chance opportunity for Millikin there, puts the lead back to 6. Myroth tipped away and out of bounds by Hildebrand. .23 on the shot clock, about a 18-second differential before the game clock. If Wheaton hurries, they can get a 2-for-1. Myroth trying to open up the lob angle, not there. Now they swing it. Great entry from Kyler, and Frazier finishes.
It's a good finish.
And it'll be tight, but as they had to wait, now it turns into the last shot if Millikin wants it.
I think that's what their coach is signaling, is take
a lot riding there on this possession. Yep. Myroth all the way out, denying Sadler, who finally grabs it with 13. Staten and Hildebrand wait at either wing for the high screen. Sadler goes with 7. They use Staten. Sadler cut off by Myroth. Shots no good. Rebound by Jennifer Berg. And that will end the first half. A strong 20 minutes from the Millikin Big Blue, as they will take a 4-point lead into the intermission.
Yeah, that was an excellent job all the way around by the Big Blue to defend and hold off the Thunder. And, you know, on the conversely, you know, we got to see more from the Thunder. We've got to see all of the post play increase a lot more. We got to see shooting on the outside. You know, I don't think Dembski had more than 1 3-pointer in the entire game, so I think that's going to be super important for the Thunder to pick up as they go.
We'll step aside here at the halftime break. We'll get you caught up with the first half stats on the other side of this commercial break. Take a look at what's going on down in Decatur and around the rest of the CCIW. Wheaton trailing by 4 here at halftime. You're watching CCIW Women's Basketball from WTSN.
I think a lot of today tries to emphasize how much you need to be the individual and how much you need to kind of have your plan set out for you as soon as you reach the end of high school. Vanguard just kind of popped out of nowhere, and the idea of a gap year, spending it in the woods, and I felt like I just needed to take some time away from the kind of rigorous academic world just to kind of recenter myself. I feel like this is probably one of the best decisions I've ever made, was to take a gap year.
For me, going right to college was really kind of a scary thought, because I didn't know what I wanted to major in, what I wanted to do. So taking a gap year was a really good chance for me to just grow and mature a little more before going to college.
Once a month we would have professors from Wheaton come up and run a seminar, and those were exploring big questions of faith or big questions that millennials face.
Also, just the Vanguard community itself is really tight, and we became kind of like a family.
I'm very thankful for these people who are willing to push me, but just care for me so deeply, and definitely I think something unique to this place, to Honey Rock, and to Vanguard as a program.
Basically the whole year was one immersion trip, being here in the Northwoods and interacting with the local community here. Another was going to the Dominican Republic.
It was learning and delving deeper into my faith, but without grades and without this pressure that I've always felt to perform. And I think having the opportunity to learn in such an intimate setting has influenced me in a really positive way.
I think what Vanguard does is it helps you to really discover your true potential and help you to kind of define your own calling.
It's a year of your life, yeah, and you might think, oh, this will set me behind all my friends, but it won't. At this stage in life, you're still so young, and there's still so much time to explore the world and to see what you want to study, and you'll have your 4 years of college, but you don't need to rush into that.
The person I am now compared to the person at the beginning is different in a lot of ways, but probably one of the most important ways would just be less anxiety about the future and more of just like present-mindedness and openness to what God is doing and like what His plan is from here.
Yeah, I definitely think looking back on it, taking a gap year and doing Vanguard was the best decision of my life.
Christ at the Core is changing the way that we teach and learn on campus. It's the beginning of a 4-year journey, a pilgrimage, and study of the liberal arts in a Christian community.
The first time I heard about the Core Seminar was in my spring connection of my senior year. So what really stood out to me was what they said that went along the lines of, in order to know your career, you first have to know your identity. And that completely blew my mind because all the other schools talked about how I could excel in this subject and grow in this career field, but no one asked me who I was. Through the seminar and through my professor, Dr. Keith Johnson, I've learned that being a student is a vocation, it is a calling. The Lord has placed me here and my classmates here for a reason.
The first year seminar is really built around introducing what we mean by Christian liberal arts, and that is not just to study that, but to actually do it. As we read texts, think about great ideas, refine our writing, make arguments, listen respectfully to students that differ from one another.
So homework wasn't a chore. I engaged deeply with the readings because I wanted to come to class with an insight to share and ready to learn from the students around me. It was an exciting opportunity, and I felt valued as an individual with the things that I could share with the classroom as well as learn.
The Christ at the Core and Advanced Integrative Curriculum is important for our students because it gives them an unparalleled opportunity for critical inquiry and to understand how their academic engagement informs their faith and also how their faith informs their academic engagement.
It's really cool to be in a class that is just combining two very different disciplines, being taught by two different professors, Dr. Townsend just in the Department of Natural Sciences, and then Dr. Barwigan in Christian Formation and Ministry Department, but then seeing how they interact so beautifully in class and how they really just build on what each other are saying.
Students are getting expert knowledge in two very disparate disciplines, and that they're now having to learn how to integrate this. Right. So it teaches them from a liberal arts perspective how to not only take kind of these silos of content and learn it, memorize it for a test, but to see that everything that they're learning contributes to one another.
One of the best things that I've experienced is team teaching and actually having a chance to learn from you.
No, absolutely, that's true. I remember when we had this moment where we were teaching Ursula Le Guin, and I thought, this is perfect because we've got a literary scholar and a political philosophy person together, and a man and a woman dealing with issues related to gender. And I thought, this is such a great experience for the students to be able to hear us working that out, talking that together.
So one of the outcomes in the first year seminar is to learn how to articulate the gospel. And so we, as a seminar, gathered and went to the basement of the Billy Graham Center and went to the pulpit there and began to practice proclaiming the gospel to each other. It was fun to do it together, to hear each other as we were learning better how to communicate the truth of Jesus Christ.
Part of the seminar experience is that we really build a community over the semester that we are together.
One of my favorite memories from core class was actually not during class, but one night when Dr. Lauber, my core professor, had us over to his house for dinner.
And community really built around that. having food, having coffee, and having our textbooks in front of us.
This was a really impactful experience because as a freshman first semester, it was so nice to have a night where I could spend time in a home with a family eating dinner. Dr. Lauber really showed that he first cared about us as people and then as students, which made my core experience even more impactful and started off my freshman year really well.
And ultimately, this is what it's about: an education for life, a preparation for a life of service, because Christ truly is at the core of what we're doing here.
Every day, as students attend chapel, meet friends for lunch, or raise their hands in class, they encounter the Wheaton Fund at work, ensuring the excellence of their Wheaton College experience.
Because of the Wheaton Fund. Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, Wheaton students receive a Christ-centered liberal arts education, led by world-class faculty, preparing them for a variety of kingdom vocations.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, all Wheaton students can grow in their faith through chapel, small groups, and real-world ministry experiences.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, students can participate in a more holistic Wheaton experience through extracurricular activities such as clubs, athletics, student government, and more.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, students get to live, learn, and play in world-class facilities. Everything from light bulbs illuminating late-night study sessions to lab equipment fueling discovery in Myers Science Center. It is made possible by the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, the total excellence of a Wheaton education is made affordable for all of our students. And that's only possible when family, friends, parents, alumni give generously to the Wheaton Fund. Because of you, lives are being transformed each and every day on this campus. People that will lead society and serve the church in the next generation. Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of you.
Welcome back inside King Arena, where Millikin leads Wheaton by 4 here at the intermission break. 35-31 our score. I'm Rusty Lindsay, next to Tex Ritter courtside here. As we look at the first half stats, Millikin, both teams shot the ball well. Millikin shooting 44% and 4 of 8 from the three-point line. Wheaton shooting 42%, really 43, 42.9, and 2 of 9 from the three-point line. Millikin 1 of 2 on free throw opportunities. Wheaton 5 of 9 for a team that's been shooting 75% entering play tonight. Rebounds relatively even. Millikin 21-18, a 7-5 edge in the offensive glass. All 8 players that have seen the floor for Millikin have scored. They were led by Aubrey Staton, 7, 6 points apiece for Yanni Sadler and E.C. Thies, 5 for Brianna Anthony. Your leading rebounder was Jordan Hildebrand, 5 rebounds, all offensive boards. That's going to be the big focus, I think, for Wheaton in the second half, is going to have to be clearing the rebounds, because there's a number of second chance opportunities. In fact, Millikin had 8 points on second chance opportunities. Wheaton had just 2. For Wheaton, the Thunder were led by Hannah Frazier with 8 points, 6 for Jordan Myroth, 5 for Jennifer Berg, to go with a game-high 6 rebounds for Berg, 5 for Christy Dembski. 7 of the 9 that have seen the floor for Wheaton have scored, so also a very balanced attack for the Thunder. Both teams with 9 turnovers. A lot of points in the paint. Wheaton outscoring Millikin 20-16 in that category. As Tex, this was one where on the opening possession, Wheaton looked flat, and they answered with 7 straight, and then Millikin kind of found their footing a little bit, and all of a sudden they had the edge. But as that second quarter wore on, you got the feeling that Millikin was starting to slow down a little bit. That tempo wasn't quite there. The shots that were going in early were coming up short. So I think for Wheaton, if they can push the tempo a little bit, you got to force Millikin to play 40 minutes against you, and it's going to be key as Millikin took that time out really with 2 minutes left in the half, leading by 7. That was really a turning point, I think. Olivia Lett trying to give her team enough gas to get to the first half finish line. Wheaton instead narrowed it back to 4.
Right.
And had opportunities at the free throw line to really get within 2. So I think that was really a big turning point. Had Millikin been able to hold that at 7, push it to 10, this game feels very different. But coming back to 4, I think Wheaton takes a little confidence into the locker room.
Totally agree. Yeah, no, I think that, like you said, I think that the major key here, the 2 keys for the success of Wheaton tonight is going to be they are going to have to get the ball back in rebounds, whether it be mostly on the offensive, so when Millikin is on offense, but also, when they make their own shots. There were a lot of times where our girls were getting boxed out underneath the rim in positions where they shouldn't be. And the other part is, yeah, you have to force Millikin to play you tough like they have been all the way through and wear them down to the point where they start either making mistakes or they start making turnovers.
Update from the men's game in Decatur. Wheaton leading Millikin 42-33 behind 27 first half points from Aston Francis. He already has 6 3-pointers, 27 points on just 11 shots. As Hildebrand goes right to work and lays it up and in to start the second half. And Wheaton looks like they're changing their matchup a little bit. It was Devin Kyler guarding Hildebrand that time down as Myroth throws it away to Hildebrand. 3-on-1, bounce pass to Anthony. Lays it up and in lays it into the bottom of the backboard. And Hannah Williams grabs the rebound. So Wheaton avoids a pretty major blow there if Millikin were able to start off on a quick 4-0 run. Frazier gets that one to 5 feet, can't get the roll. Wheaton's had good looks, have missed a lot of shots at the rim.
I think it's probably 8 or 10 shots that they've missed, within probably 5 or 7 feet of the rim and they've just either hit the rim or rolled in, rolled out.
Hildebrand back to the right hand. Frazier's waiting for it. It has to be on the scouting report. Frazier's blocked Hildebrand 4 times now. She was giving up a left-handed layup. As Myroth now tries to drive on Sadler, spins to the right hand, too strong, tip-out rebound for Berg to Frazier. Frazier is fouled as she tried to get to the layup with the left hand. The foul will go against Hildebrand, and that'll be her first. Not a whole lot of foul trouble. 2 against Brianna Anthony and Hannah Williams, 3 against Faith Smith for the Big Blue. As Frazier makes the first, Faith Smith coming right back in for the Big Blue, as the rotation for Millikin looks pretty similar to the way it did in the first half. Hildebrand a quick spurt out of the gates and then quickly to the bench for Faith Smith.
Yeah, something that's important with the Thunder offense that they just don't have right now is the drive of Frazier, Devin Kyler, Jen Berg, missing Jill Berg. They have no offense underneath. When you have offense underneath, it forces the teams to respect you, thereby opening up perimeter shots for people like Christy Dembski, Jordan Myroth. Well, because we don't have that post play right now, the perimeter players are allowed to be defended a lot more tough, and then all of a sudden we have Thunder down 5.
Wheaton now 6 of 12 at the free throw line. Frazier missed the second. Berg had the offensive rebound, was fouled by Staten. Berg misses the first and the second. Wheaton looking lost at the charity stripe right now. They'd have a 2-point lead. If they shoot their season average, we'd be tied at 37. Sadler around the high screen as Millikin continues to lead by 5, following 3 straight missed free throws. Staten's going to try the long 3 off to the right, and Myroth grabs the rebound. Picked up by Anthony, and will continue to go. Now it gets it into the paint for Frazier. Frazier shot fake, left-hand layup is good.
There you go.
Right into the paint, and that was an area Wheaton was able to get the ball wherever they wanted in that first quarter. That was that run that they had to take an early lead, and then they started getting trigger happy on the 3.
Right.
Left wing, Staten again, guarded by Kyler up top for Faith Smith with 3 fouls. To the circle right for Sadler. Sadler the long 2 over Myroth, and that is good.
Thunder just have to be patient here. Sadler with 8, and the lead back to 5. And a foul away from the basket, away from the ball, excuse me, against Jennifer Berg. Look like that foul happening out of our camera screen there on the replay. Jasmine Brown into the game, replacing Aubrey Magro. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that foul was about. What we could see as that play came into the frame was Berg in a post-up, so had to be something in getting the position. Maybe. Millikin by 5, 2.5 into the second half. Sadler around the screen, passed up the open 3, gets it to Staten as Millikin runs some clock here. Shot clock inside of 10. Jasmine Brown gets it to Sadler, looking into the middle to Smith. Frazier hedges. They don't see the shot clock. Now Brown is blocked by Berg, and Frazier grabs the rebound. That was a very forceful block there. Berg driving past Jasmine Brown, lays it up and in. That's big. And that's a matchup that Wheaton can exploit. Yep. Now they need to add a stop to it. Back within 3, inside of 7 minutes left, third quarter. Brown picked up by Berg. Back to Smith, skipping far side, Staten. Second leading scorer for the Big Blue, cut off, gets it to their leading scorer. Sadler blocked by Frazier. Out of bounds, ball stays with the Big Blue, 11 on the shot clock. Hildebrand checks back in. And Faith Smith will check out. I think that's 5 or 6 blocks for her on the night already. That is 5, and her first out, it's not Hildebrand. Right. Brown with 8 on the shot clock. To the right side for Staten. They're trying to get into Hildebrand. Shot clock's at 3. Brown can't see it. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Essentially back-to-back 30-second violations. Yep. As the Wheaton defense buckling down, and this is what we saw on Saturday, was Wheaton was able to buckle down in the third quarter against Carroll and made that run to take control of the game. Myroth, kick out to Hannah Williams. Williams pass Brown and to go up and in. Wheaton back within 1, as close as they've been since the first quarter. Right, yep, nope. This is now where you want to see the Thunder defense start to really not allow any interior shots. Just keep forcing them outside to the perimeter where they're not known for their three-point shooting. Sadler out of control down the lane, and Frazier grabs the boards. Wheaton with a chance to retake the lead. Hannah Williams into the corner, baseline drive for Williams, up and in, and Wheaton's back in charge, and a quick timeout from Millikin as Wheaton taking control of the back of this game, a 6-0 run to lead by 1 with 5:48 here in the third quarter. Yeah, I think that those 2 defensive stops both were very key. One, that Millikin Big Blue was looking to drive right down to the post. They don't have the size, but they have the speed to outmatch the Thunder down low. But the Thunder kept them out on the perimeter, almost got the shot clock violation, forced them into a bad shot. Then Thunder go back down and score. Come back again, force the Big Blue back into another bad shot, something that they don't want to be taking, and score again. That's that's just good basketball at that point. 5:48 left, and again, there's a lot of parallels to that game we saw here on Saturday. But this game's been a lot more open. That was much more of a half-court game. But we talked a little bit towards the end of the second half that Millikin looked like they was losing that bounce in their step that they had come out of the gate so strong with. This is going to be a key 3-minute stretch for Millikin here. If they can, starting with this possession, if they can score this possession, that goes a long way. But the way that they were attacking the game has really kind of slowed down here in the last 3 minutes of the second quarter, and now the first 4+ of the third. Right, and I think the crazy thing is the 5 girls on the court right now for the Thunder have a ton of experience right now playing basketball, in this system. If they feel like you are slowing down, if they feel like you are gassed, they are very good at using that as fuel to move themselves forward. AC Thies, just as she did in the first half, right into the game and gets a bucket and puts Millikin back on top. Surprised we didn't see more of Thies after she came in with 6 quick points in the first. Myroth skips it. Out of bounds. You're right over there.
So Millikin with a 1-point lead, trying to add to it. Thies circle right, 20 on the shot clock to Staten. Up top, Sadler. Back to Thies. Thies trying to drive, knocked away, shot goes up, no good, and Frazier the rebound. Past the midway point of the third quarter as Berg looks into Frazier. Around Anthony, Berg will skip to Kyler. Passes an open three, back to Berg. Left of the middle of the center of the floor, and Berg is fouled by Brianna Anthony, who picks up her third foul. So fouls consolidating now against Millikin, and it goes against their depth pieces with Faith Smith and Anthony, and that's now 4 straight missed free throws by the Thunder, and 3 of them have been Jennifer Berg.
Yeah,
you can see it snowballing when they get to the line.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I think, as soon as we start seeing, if you're Millikin, keep fouling. It sounds bad, but if the Thunder aren't going to be that consistent on the free throw line, keep fouling.
Berg couldn't be happier to get the roll there.
Right.
Touched all of the rim before backpedaling into the hoop. So we're tied at 41. Blocked by Kyler as Anthony gets it back, gets it all the way to the hoop. Hildebrand blocked by Frazier. So we talked about it in the first quarter that the lack of Jill Berg was making teams a little more aggressive, but Wheaton's really shut it down here. Williams left open, right corner three ball is good. A huge three for Hannah Williams.
I think it's also a credit maybe to Coach Madsen and his coaching staff. I mean, it has been very apparent that Frazier knows that Hildebrand is going to go up with her right hand every single time she walks in.
And Brown travels the pressure of Kyler. She could feel the height on her back. And Kyler is smart enough to know she doesn't have to jump, just gets the stutter step. So Dembski's back into the game replacing Jen Berg. Big minutes here as Millikin really put their feet to the fire for the first time tonight.
Seriously.
Looking in for Kyler as she tries to post Faith Smith. Great feed from Frazier, and Kyler lays it up and in.
Unfortunately for Millikin, they were in the right position there. They were in the passing lane, but they did not have the height to stop that pass.
This is a 14-2 run as Anthony is tied up, and it'll go the other way.
This is where you want to start seeing the momentum swing back the Thunder's way, to start putting up a good spread of points here.
Quick look around the CCIW. Illinois Wesleyan dominating North Park in the first half, 51-20 at halftime. Carthage by 9 over Millikin late in the third quarter, and Carroll by 3 over Elmhurst as Wheaton throws it away. Sprinting up, they go against Kyler. Sadler back to Magro, who lays it up and in. Millikin needed that, and Myroth quickly answers with the left hand.
That was a shot that was not going in the first half. That's good to see her start to warm up a little bit.
This is almost a carbon copy of what Wheaton did against Carroll on Saturday.
Seriously.
Down the lane, and Myroth fouls Yanni Sadler. Easy call for the officials. Quick checkup indicator. Wheaton 44, Millikin 36. At 2 minutes into the second half, we mentioned a couple big men's games. Augustana with an 8-point lead at halftime at Elmhurst. Two teams in the first and second spots in the conference. Carroll trailing Carthage in Kenosha by 9, 43-34. And Illinois Wesleyan with a 2-point lead about 5 minutes in over North Central in a big game down in Bloomington. As Sadler makes them both, and Millikin, like we talked about, the next 3 minutes being big after that run. They have seemingly stemmed the tide. Jacqueline St. Jewel into the game for the first time for Wheaton, giving Jordan Myroth a breather. Right wing for Dembski. Dembski loses Staten with a behind-the-back dribble. Kick out to Williams. And now Williams will drive. Williams, the right hand, won't go. Frazier with a strong rebound, and she's fouled. If it's Staten, it's her third.
That's huge.
It is not. It's Faith Smith. It's her fourth.
Wow.
It was the second half opportunities that were big for Millikin in the first half. It's been second half opportunities for Wheaton here in the second half, as tipped and taken away by Hildebrand. On the inbound, now Hildebrand attacking the basket, cut off by Hannah Williams. Williams with 2 fouls, wisely does not add her third, and Wheaton's able to get a stop.
That was a super smart play. Just put her body in position, didn't jump, didn't move, just enough of a touch there to throw off the shot.
Sanjul to the left wing for Dembski, counting down towards 2 minutes left here, third quarter. Sanjul picked up by Staton, will drive, kicks into the corner. Dembski left open for three, long. And Hildebrand almost lost the rebound, but able to track it down.
This is the point in the game. You can feel it kind of in the tempo of this game. The next few minutes, the next minute and 50 seconds or so are going to have a big impact on this game. If Millikin can bring it or keep it close, I think it bodes well for the end of the game.
Yeah, this is a crucial finish to this quarter. As Sanjul pushing, nice bounce pass to Dembski in transition for the lay-in.
Awesome.
Outstanding feel for the fast break there by Jacqueline Sanjul. So Wheaton back up by 5 with a minute and a half.
Yeah, no, you may not see Jacqueline Sanjul take a lot of shots, but she is like a midfielder in soccer. She distributes very, very well and puts herself in excellent positions.
Sadler rushed the three, and that's what you can't have on a young team as a senior taking early shots. Wheaton working this one as Kyler tried to turn the corner, cut back dribble, and Faith Smith just fouled out in the third quarter.
Yep.
They left Smith on the floor, and she will see the end of her night with a minute and 5 seconds left in the third quarter. So right back into the game comes Brianna Anthony. And Faith Smith is the one who would allow some breaks for Hildebrand and Staton. Wheaton should have an opportunity here. They're going to have to ride Hildebrand and Staton a lot more than they did through the second quarter. As Kyler goes to the line for 2 and makes the first. E.C. Thies also into the game, replacing Yanni Sadler at that break. So it is Hildebrand, Staton, Thies, Anthony, and Magro. Both are good for Kyler. Wheaton matches its largest lead at 7 here with 65 seconds left in the third quarter. Anthony against Hannah Williams. Picks up her dribble, bounces down to Hildebrand, back to the right hand. And she had to go all the way to the top of the glass to get it around Frazier, but Frazier going to be called for the body, and Hildebrand will go to the line. But there you see the lack of trust in the left hand, because she had her under the basket with an open left-handed layup, and got it back to spun it into a contested right-handed layup.
And the thing that must be demoralizing too is Frazier knew that. Frazier knew that was going to be coming to the right. So you can see, even as she positions herself, you see it big time. She was going to the right hand.
They missed the free throws, and Wheaton pushing the other way. A poor decision by Kyler, taken away by Magro. 45 seconds left, and Magro all the way to the hoop in the lay-in. So 4-point lead here for Wheaton. 10-second differential, shot clock, game clock. And now a foul away from the basket by Kyler.
That's tough.
Disappointing sequence for your senior leader.
Right.
And just when Wheaton looked like they might have Millikin on the ropes, some self-inflicted wounds are going to give Millikin what should be the last shot of the quarter.
You got about a 1 second, 2 second differential there, I think.
Anthony will dribble it down to 10. Cut off by Williams. They switch it. Frazier picks her up and swats it away out of bounds.
That's incredible.
Block number 7 for Hannah Frazier. 7 blocks, 8 rebounds, 11 points for Hannah Frazier.
Looks like we got a conversation going on between the two referees. This will be time on the clock, I believe.
Not sure what.
Yep.
.2. Okay. It comes into Anthony. Anthony the long 2. No good. Dembski grabs the rebound, and that will end the third quarter. Wheaton dominant in the third quarter at stretches, but they left the door open at the end as Millikin closes the gap to 52-48 as we head to the fourth quarter. Again, we appreciate you joining us tonight. If you have any feedback from tonight's broadcast, we invite you to shoot us an email, wtsn@wheaton.edu. You can see the email address right there on the screen, right above the score graphic. We look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments about the broadcast, or just telling us where you're watching from tonight.
I think this is where we're going to see this last quarter. We're going to see the mettle of the Thunder team here. I mean, realistically, this is their game to lose. Millikin is continuing to fight, continuing to be right there. You know, the Thunder slip up a little bit, and the Millikin is well coached enough that they're able to capitalize quickly on any mistake that the Thunder have made. So I think, you know, with the points, you know, 4-point lead that they've got right now, it is up to the Thunder whether or not they're going to win this game or lose it.
Check on the men's game down in Decatur. Wheaton leading Millikin 47-42. The Wheaton offense slowing here in the second half. Only 5 points after halftime. Other women's action, Elmhurst leading Carroll 52-40. Carthage leading North Central 55-41 in the fourth quarter. Illinois Wesleyan giving up a 17-1 run to start the third quarter as North Park, back within 12 after being down 31 at halftime. Hildebrand out of the break, goes to the left hand, and maybe that's why. Nice job by Staton to tie it up following the rebound, so Millikin will at least regain possession of the arrow. Frazier leading all scorers with 11 to go with 8 rebounds and 7 blocks, 10 for Hannah Williams. Sadler leading the Big Blue with 10 points. Wheaton with 7 turnovers there in that third quarter. Frazier at the elbow. Backs off with the dribble, gets it out to Williams as she tries to repost. Williams drives with contact and gets the roll.
Wow.
Nice finish from Hannah Williams, and she'll go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
That was a great possession there. That was just awesome.
First foul of the fourth quarter against the Big Blue. It goes against Hildebrand, her second, and Williams converts the three-point play. Huge start to the quarter for the Thunder. As Magro against Dembski. Crossover, high screen from Hildebrand. Left wing, Brianna Anthony. Anthony down the lane, trying to throw it across. Off the leg of, looked like Williams.
Right.
And it'll stay with the Big Blue with 14 to shoot.
If you're Millikin in this situation, you gotta sit back, just relax. This game is very much not out of hand for you guys. It's not time to be forcing shots, forcing things into a bad turnover, things like that.
And Berg's going to be called for the foul. It looked like she had tied up Staton. See it again here on the replay. Off a loose ball, boy. Berg had 2 hands on the basketball.
Yeah. Her question there, I think, has some validity to the referee of, I don't know if I saw what you saw.
Staton all the way down the lane, gets the right hand to go. She now has 9 points. Myroth probing, kick out, wide open 3 for Dembski and a rare miss. Frazier fighting for the rebound, called for the over the back.
Didn't see a lot of fouls by the Thunder in the first 3 quarters, and all of a sudden, you've got a quick 2. It could come back to bite them later on.
Staton spinning in and out as Frazier gets the rebound. Berg got away with one with the left hand coming down across the shooting motion. Now Myroth driving on Sadler. Right hand gets the friendly roll. And when Jordan Myroth can play downhill to the basket, she's so hard to stop.
Yep. She knows exactly where she needs to be. She knows where her shot needs to be.
Lobbed in. Stanton gets her own rebound, puts it back up and in.
Stan is going to be a special player. I tell you what, I mean, the way that she is hanging in here in this game, she's continuing to shoot. I mean, everything from three-point shots all the way to playing in the post. I mean, she is going to be something.
Back to the zone. Berg left open for three, and atones for the second chance layup with a three-pointer, and Wheaton with a game-high 8-point lead now with just under 8 minutes to go.
That was huge.
7:53 to play. Berg hits the three. Again, this is anytime you're playing on the road, initial bursts are great, but what you're seeing is a young team hitting the wall about where you would expect a young team to do so against a ranked opponent.
Yep. May even have been a stroke of genius by Coach Madsen's part to bring in some of his really young players there in the first part of the first quarter, all the way through the second quarter there. Give his starters, give his seniors a break, so they have the energy there to play all the way down the stretch with full energy, whereas the Big Blue have been struggling now.
Out of the timeout, Staten draws the foul. Driving on Kyler, and we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. The longer this game is on, the more it's hard to ignore the similarities between her game and her head coach's game. Very physical player, almost cut out of the same mold as Olivia Lett, a couple inches shorter. Lett was a matchup nightmare, and those familiar with the CCIW remember some great battles in those Illinois Wesleyan Wheaton games between her and Brooke Olson, a pair of All-Americans going at each other. Both free throws are good for Staten, and it brings the lead back to 6. Myroth around the high screen, dribbling into the paint. Berg right where she missed the three, and thrown away as Frazier thrown to the ground on the entry pass. EC Thies back into the game. She'll replace Magro, and Thies has been instant offense. You'll have to check her immediately.
Yep. I'll give it on that last possession there. I will give it to Hildebrand. She absolutely dominated Frazier. That's not something you see very often in CCIW play, and really, I mean, in any of the games.
Frazier's had her number tonight, but Hildebrand won that battle, and then Frazier returns the favor, kind of dummied the pass until it was thrown, and then worked her way right around. Myroth driving again, behind the back dribble. Berg into the corner, Williams drives past Thies. Williams, the runner, can't get it to go, and Hildebrand gets the rebound. So Millikin will try to cut into a 6-point deficit with 7 minutes to go as Kyler kicks the bounce pass from Brianna Anthony. And that'll be a baseline inbounds for the Big Blue.
You can feel the tension in this game starting to rise again. The Thunder having the inability to put Millikin away.
As Hildebrand sneaks back door, Frazier never saw the screen.
Yep.
And lays it up and in with the left hand. So we're back to a 4-point game, 6:45 to play. Hannah Williams against Thies. Lobbed into Frazier, and she's fouled by Anthony. That's a great recognition of the matchup in the post. I believe that's 4 against Brianna Anthony. That is her 4th. Faith Smith already disqualified from this game after fouling out in the third quarter. Jasmine Brown into the game. She'll replace Anthony. As Wheaton looks like, for the time being at least, they've put aside their demons at the free throw line.
Yep, that's big.
As Frazier hits a pair, lead back to 6. 6.5 to play. Brown, Thies, into the lane, blocked by Berg, jump ball, and that'll stay with Millikin.
I think Jen Berg was trying to explain to the referee on that one that on her last foul, she did the exact same thing.
Lobbed into Staten, thought about the three. Gets it to Sadler, back out Thies. 3-ball from the left wing, long. Hildebrand the rebound, and pick your player here. Foul will go on Hannah. We'll figure out what the last name is to accompany that. It is Williams, her 3rd.
Team foul number 4.
Down in Decatur, Millikin back within 4. 53-49 at the midway point of the second half. It's a place where Wheaton has not played their best games the last few trips down. Thies tries the three again, short this time and out of bounds with 6:02 left in the fourth quarter.
Something we're just not seeing is the Thunder just having the ability to put Millikin away.
Mentioned North Park started the second half on a 17-1 run against Illinois Wesleyan. The Titans have righted the ship a little bit. That leads back to 18 as Williams again gets the friendly roll. 60-42 in Chicago, 64-46 Carthage over North Central late in the fourth in Naperville, and Elmhurst 58-54 up in Waukesha. A traveling violation against Hildebrand. She had to skip in before the ball went down. Magro and Anthony back in. Jasmine Brown, you see Thies back out for the Big Blue. As Kyler assumes the role of point forward, drives on Staton, gets to the block, and will dribble it back out. Looking into Frazier, finds her on the block, working against Hildebrand. Drops off to Myroth, back to Frazier. Frazier, the spinning left hand. Nice ball sharing in the paint.
That was incredible. That was good. The confidence to finish a shot like that is something that's hard to find.
And the Wheaton lead hits 10 for the first time tonight. Sadler pulls up from the free throw line. Jennifer Berg is there for the rebound. Wheaton's defense in the second half has been so impressive.
Yep.
As Myroth drives and throws it away. Frazier was open. And Olivia Lett's going to ask for a full timeout here with 4:51 to play. And it comes just inside the 5-minute mark.
I think the other thing too that is I think important to note here is that we've got Coach Madsen is not saying a whole lot when he's sitting on the bench. I think he's allowing his seniors and the leadership on his team, to be their own impetus towards a victory, where he doesn't need to yell and be animated as much because he knows that his girls know what they need to do. They have the experience to do what they need to do.
We talked about that game on Saturday really being kind of a hangover effect from the way that Wheaton had gone on the road, got a big win at Illinois Wesleyan. You come back against a Carroll team that has a record that's easy to overlook when you look at things in the big picture.
Exactly.
And that's probably why that game was ugly, but that was also the linchpin to a 3-game homestand. So Wheaton has not played a whole lot of home action. They played they played their first 3, then they're on the road for 3, then they're on the road again for another month during the Christmas break. So this is a team that has to really get used to defending this floor if they want to hold their lead in the CCIW standings and eventually host the CCIW tournament.
Right. Especially when you have a team like Illinois Wesleyan who has yet to play here at Wheaton this season. It's going to be important for that kind of the defending the king mentality. That's important for the Thunder.
Berg grabs another rebound. She now has 9, joining Frazier. Myroth to Kyler. Skip to the right wing for Jennifer Berg. Berg against Anthony, who has 4 fouls. I'd like to see her keep driving there. Throws it away, trying to outlet to Hannah Williams. Staton against Kyler. And a late call as she attacked the body of Devin Kyler and draws the foul.
Foul number 14, Devin Kyler, third.
See it again on the replay. Kyler trying to usher her there, but then extends the arms instead of keeping them straight up, and that's what draws the whistle. So Staton to the line for 2. She's 2 for 2 there tonight, make it 3 for 3. The rookie has 14. She came in averaging 16 per game, but 19 in CCIW play. So Wheaton has held her below her season average. She had just 9 up in Kenosha on Saturday. Makes both, and it is an 8-point game. Certainly easy to see her as the cornerstone of this Millikin rebuild. Williams, baseline drive, bounces to Myroth for the layup.
It's awesome play. Great recognition there to see Jordan Myroth on the other side of the basket.
Williams has had an outstanding second half. Sadler thought about the pull-up 3. It's swung into the left wing now, Magro. Staton off the screen for 3. Shot is good. Count the 3. And a foul against Kyler, I believe.
I don't quite get that.
That's a terrible call. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there.
So there's a chance for this to become a 5-point play for the Big Blue.
And it's 4th foul against Devin Kyler. I think they're conferring there should even be free throws.
Yeah, I don't know if there should be free throws.
Yeah, you just read his lips. Cancel that free throw. Should be Millikin ball under the basket is what it should be.
Right.
That should not be a free throw assessment. We await the clarification here. They're going to keep the free throw.
Okay.
And we will shoot one more. So it still could be a 5-point play. Second straight game, I think we've seen a play misassessed from the officials.
Right.
So the lead quickly cut from 10 to 5. Myroth picks up her dribble all the way out. And a foul. Nope, they're going to call timeout. Kent Madsen was rushing towards the official to call timeout.
That's smart.
As Myroth picked up her dribble. Be a 30-second timeout for the Thunder, and that is the weakness that we saw against Carroll, and we saw it again early when Millikin had the jump, was that Wheaton is a little too easy to pick up their dribble.
Right.
They, 15, I mean, they're 15 feet out past the three-point line and still picking up their dribble when they're not really in that great of danger and can keep the dribble alive. Checking in on things in Decatur, Wheaton leading 60 to 53, 6.5 minutes left. Aston Francis has had a very quiet second half. He has 30 points after he had 27 in the first half. Also leading Wheaton with 8 rebounds. So Wheaton gets the ball out of the timeout. Millikin looks like they want to jump off the screen. High pass, and Kyler is fouled by Brianna Anthony. It's going to be the 5th on Anthony.
That's unfortunate for Brianna. I think that was more of a wrong place, wrong time. I don't know if she necessarily contacted.
On the replay, looked like she might have grabbed the left arm, but as it was, that should probably better off as a let them play.
Right.
So off the inbounds, Kyler to Myroth in the left corner. Going to drive baseline. Myroth kicks to Williams. Right wing 3-ball, Jennifer Berg. Big if it goes, it does not. And Hildebrand the rebound. So Millikin can make this a one-possession game with 3:20 to play. To the top, Hildebrand. Long 2 over the outstretched arms of Kyler. Long rebound to Staten. And now Magro around the high screen. Right wing for Sadler. Gets it to Staten. Wheaton now looking to be the tired team as that is up and in. Kent Madsen yelling travel. She got away with an extra step.
Yep, she bounced there on her right foot.
So Millikin back within 3 here on a 7-0 run. Myroth probing drive, won't get it to go. Big possession here for the Thunder defense.
Yep.
You see Olivia Lett telling her team, keep pushing the tempo.
Yep.
Sadler around the high screen, elbow jumper, in and out, no good, no box out. So Frazier just has to swat it out of bounds.
We were talking about how they look like the Millikin Big Blue were starting to tire out, and I think that it looks now like the Thunder are starting to get a little tired.
Well, it's a little frustration too. Wheaton had Millikin dead to rights, up 10, and then that 5-point play all of a sudden adds quite a strike. As there's block number 8 for Hannah Williams. Williams 2 blocks, 1 rebounds away from a triple-double. Myroth all the way to the hoop. Wide open 3 from the corner for Williams. It's good. She hit a big one to break a tie earlier in this game, and there might be none bigger than that one.
Nope, that was hugely important for the Thunder right there.
Williams continuing a terrific second half. Sadler probing with the drive. Gets it to Magro. Shot fake down the lane. Layup up, no good. And you can see Frazier affecting that shot.
Yep, that was huge.
Myroth gets it out. Bird could be the dagger. Missed it. Rebound out of bounds. And it will stay with the Thunder. 1:36 left. Wheaton with 12 blocks tonight. Millikin with none. Wheaton leads the country with 9.6 per game, and that's all divisions of the NCAA.
Really? I did not know that.
High foul off the high screen. Foul's going to be called against Magro, trying to fight through Berg. For comparison's sake, that's 2 blocks a game, better than the Division I leading South Carolina. Myroth, great crossover. Frazier for 3 from the wing. Won't get it to go. And Millikin's hopes stay alive for the time being. They need to score on this possession. 80 seconds left. Timeout. Olivia Lett with 1:16 to go.
I think if you're Coach Lett over for Millikin, I think, again, like I've been saying all night, you just tell them, hey, you're still in this. It's 1:16. We have the momentum really right now. You know, I know Hannah Williams' 3 was a dagger, but, you know, a lot of the offensive movement and defense, it's all on Millikin's side right now. So, I mean, tell our girls, hey, let's get some good shots. You know, maybe look for a 3-pointer from Stanton, and we'll move forward from there.
Frazier's got a double-double, 15 and 10. Berg has a double-double, 11 and 12. Myroth is 1 assist from a double-double, 12 points, 9 rebounds. Magro out of the timeout. Berg looked like she shouldn't have that matchup. However, they get it figured out. They get it to Hildebrand at the free throw line. 15 on the shot clock, 1:05 to play. Magro into the paint, kick out. Jasmine Brown might have got away with the travel. And now Berg knocks the pass away and takes it away at midcourt. Outlet to Hannah Williams inside of a minute left here in this one. A huge turnover. And a decision for Millikin here, whether to play it out or foul and send Wheaton to the line. Williams driving. The floater is good. And that might seal the deal.
Yep.
As Hannah Williams with a huge second half for the Thunder.
Decision not to foul by Big Blue there might have come back to bite them.
Not to go quietly into that good night are the Big Blue as Stanton hits a 3. Back to 5, and now Stanton has to foul, and they'll send Kyler to the line. Stanton's 3rd. She now has 23 to go with 6 rebounds. As Kyler misses the first. Again, Wheaton has struggled from the free throw line. Just 12 of 22 in this game. They had made 6 of their last 8. They split a pair. Timeout Wheaton with 33 seconds left. It'll be a full timeout with 33.4 to play.
Yep, I think it's a good call by Coach Madsen. Just double check in with his girls. All right, let's make sure we have our defense called properly and make sure we know who we're trying to get the ball to on the offensive side. I think this is big.
Elsewhere around the conference, Carthage 50 seconds away from finishing off North Central, 67-54. Illinois Wesleyan led by 31 at halftime before North Park started the second half on a 17-1 run. Illinois Wesleyan have since steadied the ship, and they're going to roll to right now up 71-48 in the fourth quarter. Elmhurst with 1:10 left leading Carroll 77-65. So Elmhurst will pick up their 3rd win and move past Carroll in the CCIW standings. Millikin and North Park will both take their 5th loss of the year. Carthage moving into a 3rd place toss with 3rd place tie with Augustana at 4-2. Illinois Wesleyan will stay a game ahead of that at 5-1, and Wheaton will stay atop the conference with their 7th straight win and a 6-0 conference record. That's barring any funny business here in the last 33.4 seconds, with Wheaton leading 74-68.
Yeah, I wouldn't count Millikin out here on this one.
Magro picks it up early. As Berg was hedging, they get it to Staten. Drives past Kyler. Makes the lay-in, so it's back to 4 with 25.4. Williams was open, sprinting down the floor. They inbound to Frazier, their best statistical free throw shooter, and Hildebrand fouls with 23.8. Frazier 3 of 4 at the line tonight. This will be 2 as both teams are in the bonus, and Frazier misses the first.
Can't have that. Not in a game like this, you cannot miss free throws.
Frazier missed them both. Wheaton's been awful at the free throw line tonight, and it's going to leave the door open for the big Blue. As Berg knocks it away, that should be block number 13. Frazier entering play tonight, 81% from the line. Kyler, their best statistical free throw shooter, at 85, and Hannah Williams at 85 as well. Nearly a 5-second violation. It comes into Hildebrand, and she draws the foul against Hannah Williams. Wheaton played 4 seconds of great defense on that inbound. Williams just lost track of the switch, and it'll send a 70% free throw shooter to the line, shooting 2 and a chance to make it a 1-possession game with 16 seconds left, and gets the roll on the first one.
And Coach Madsen's getting ready to call himself timeout. It looks like he's drawing up a play here for himself.
Well, it's a free release into the front court. Hildebrand makes the second. Coach Madsen will take the timeout with 16 seconds left. It will advance it into the front court. So given the way things have gone tonight at the charity stripe for the Thunder, as we look at the individual lines, Hannah Williams is 1 of 1, Kyler's 4 of 6, Berg just 2 of 7, Frazier just 5 of 8, and Myroth about a 50% shooter on the year, so you would expect her to trigger the inbounds, but if you've got your choice, it's got to be Williams or Kyler here down the stretch.
Yep, you got to get it to Hannah Williams or Kyler here. Yeah, no, I mean, you hate to say a game comes down to 1 possession, but I do think that this is the single most important possession for both teams in this game.
Quick look at things in Decatur. Wheaton leading by 6, and now 3 with 51 seconds left. Millikin as close as they've been since the early goings of this game. 35 seconds left in that game, 65-62 Wheaton lead. As Wheaton will go to the free throw line after an offensive rebound with 30 seconds left. So big opportunity there for the Thunder. Big one here as Myroth will trigger on the floor with Jen Berg, Kyler, Frazier, and Williams. Sadler guards the ball, comes into Hannah Williams, and a quick foul by Magro.
I think that play was entirely set up for Hannah Williams. The other 3 girls on the court did not move an inch.
Well done to execute, and now it'll be on Williams, who has made her 1 attempt for the night. It came on a 3-point play, and she calmly makes that one. That's the big one, because it at least forces a 3. And Williams to make this a 2-possession game, and cannot. So Millikin's going to have a shot. Magro gets it to Staten. Statten's been big. She'll shoot for the tie. Long rebound to Myroth with 5 seconds left. And she gets another couple seconds off the clock as Myroth grabs it and is fouled by Hildebrand with 3.2. And perhaps the unlikeliest of people to put this away, Myroth. Much improved from her career mark at 61% entering play tonight. Just needs 1.
Right. She needs 1. I mean, you can hear Coach Madsen saying there, do not foul. Do not send this team to the stripe.
And Myroth is the one to ice it. On a night that Wheaton was just absolutely atrocious at the free throw line, it's Jordan Myroth who puts it away. Sadler with a 3 at the buzzer, And there's how big that one was. Wow. This is going to end up being a 1-point win. Jordan Myroth's free throw with 3.2 ends up being the difference, as Wheaton survives a spirited comeback attempt by the Big Blue in the closing seconds.
That was tremendous. Like, that was, yeah, the one free throw by Jordan Myroth was absolutely incredible.
And it comes off a friendly roll off all parts of the box. And for Wheaton, they win their 7th straight. It doesn't come pretty by any means, but it does come. That's the important thing. They moved to 6-0 in the conference. But there is some concern at the way that Wheaton has played these two games, coming off a big win at Illinois Wesleyan.
Right. Yeah, and you wonder, as you sit here and you watch these last two games, you wonder if the Thunder, kind of fall into that age-old problem of athletics, and that is playing to the level of your opponent. Now, no discredit to Carroll and Millikin, but you look at how the Thunder played at Illinois Wesleyan, and it was a completely different team. I mean, the shooting was completely different, rebounding was completely different, everything, the speed of the game was completely different. So then to watch how these two teams have played against, how the Thunder have played both Carroll and Millikin, you almost wonder if, maybe subconsciously there is less effort. There's not quite as cohesion as you would expect when you have such a huge game, with all the ceremony, everything that goes on with the game, versus Illinois Wesleyan, things like that.
So Wheaton makes its season debut in the top 25, and they do so with a win to move to 12-3 overall, 6-0 in the conference. Wheaton will wrap up a 3-game homestand on Saturday when Wheaton hosts Elmhurst here at 7 o'clock. That'll be a standalone single game. So just a women's game at 7 o'clock. Then they head to Augustana for a Wednesday night game in Rock Island and come back home to open up a doubleheader starting against North Park for a 5 o'clock tip-off. Complete stats and a recap from this game will be available at the Wheaton Athletics page, athletics.wheaton.edu. For Tex Ritter, I'm Rusty Lindsay, and our outstanding production crew with Sunrise Communications. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you back here on Saturday night.